Hello! Thank you to Sophia and Gemma for saving the day and realizing that YouTube has added some fancy new setting in that I didn't even see that was putting it into 360-degree view. We don't need 360. We just need normal, plain old 180. I don't need a fisheye. That's not going to help me scrapbook with you. Anyway, thank you for helping me get through that. I'm sorry for the panic. I just restarted all my gear thinking there must be some sort of weird connection thing. And I will go back after this and make sure that that setting is now turned off on all of the others. I've never clicked on that. I have no idea it was there. Happy New Year from YouTube. Brilliant. They do like to keep you on your toes. Okay, so we are going to bounce into the January kit today to scrapbook. Oh goodness, Misty's here from the first time ever watching live, and that was her introduction. Hi Misty, I'm not normally quite this much of a mess. I am a mess, but I'm not normally quite that much of a mess. Right, I'm normal size, everybody says, yay, fabulous. Okay, so we're gonna work with the January kit today, but the February kit is already live, and you can go shopping on that now. And in just a minute, I'm going to walk through because I got a couple questions the other day from people who have found me over Christmas and have no idea what Best of Both Worlds is. So if that's you, stay tuned. In just a minute, after I have a look at the desk, I'm going to give you a little potted summary of Best of Both Worlds and what it is. And then I'm going to walk like an Egyptian. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, let's go. So this is the kit that I'm using this month, and there is a video that's just me walking through this if you want to go back and find that. And then build a kit that's similar from your own stash, or order a few bits if you like anything in particular. But this is the look of what we're doing, and it has this kind of color scheme. So a few shades of blue plus some pink into a peachy pink and some yellow into a green. Yeah. Now next month's kit includes, it's very Valentine-y, but it won't be all Valentine's Day pages because I don't do like a month of Valentine's Day photos. I'll do a day of Valentine's Day photos. I mean, I know I do the whole month for October and the whole month for December, but I don't have an entire Valentine's Day wardrobe. I have a few days. Okay. So anyway, I'll be using the other stuff in a non-Valentine-y way, but I am very pro just general hearts in scrapbooks in general, because I like to scrapbook the stuff that I love, the people I love, the things I love, the stuff I love doing, all of these things. Right. Okay, so next month's color scheme has red, pink, black and white, orange, and blue. I'm excited for that color scheme. Oh, it's 2:45 in the morning at Sherry's house and she's here. Oh my goodness, Sherry. Yes, Elaine, General Hearts and General Joy, I think they are co-workers. They're from the same battalion? Platoon? I don't know military terms. Okay, anyway, there we go. So this is what we have this month. Right, and these are the photos we're going to use today. 2 3x4 photos that are portraits. I know you might look at these and think that those are quite primary colored. This is not primary colored, but I'm going to make it work. And today my theme is stickers. Because we've got 2 whole sticker books this month, because I like stickers. And I have some big ideas for stickers, but you may notice, see, this is a little bit more, it's not exactly primary colored, but there's more of this kind of color scheme in there than you might have thought from the cover. Yeah. So we're going to have plenty of color to spread around. Yeah, right. Okay. Let me do my little explanation. And because it's the first of the year, and because I had people specifically say I don't know what the Best of Both Worlds is, I'm going to go through the whole thing today. So if you're old hat around here and you want to, get a cup of tea or whatever while I do this little speech, you can, but I'll try and keep it brief. Okay, let's go. Hi, my name is Shimelle. I teach online scrapbooking classes, design scrapbooking products, and help you use them to tell your stories in a creative way. It's not just my hobby, it is my job, and that means anytime I scrapbook on the internet, whether it goes right or wrong, it's considered advertising. And I have to make sure legally that you are aware of that. So thank you for coming to watch my hashtag advertising always. Whether you watch live and you're chatty in the live chat, or whether you watch on the replay days from now, months from now, years from now, whatever your deal is, how is it out there in Tomorrowland? I hope the future is being kind. Whether you're super chatty or whether you're not, you're all welcome here, and I really appreciate you being here. It came to my attention over the last few months that there are far more of you who watch that don't scrapbook than I ever would have thought. So there are some people who just come along for the crafty fun and have never made a scrapbook page. If that's you, maybe 2023 is the year that you stick some paper to other paper in an aesthetically pleasing way and make a scrapbook page. That would make my year. So yes, whether you scrapbook, whether you don't, you're welcome here. We're all good, and we just love color and paper and pattern and layering and having fun. Now, best of both worlds. That's what this is called, and here's how it works. The first live stream of the month, I post a link to a shopping list, and the February shopping list went live just before this video. It has a list of the supplies that I will be using in all my live streams next month. And I order it just as it goes on sale. So I go through the shop and I find stuff that I like that will go together, that I know I can use together and show you how it's all going to work. And I buy my own kit. So there's no, nobody pays me to put stuff in the kit or anything. I pick stuff that I like and want to use. And then I assemble that for you. Some of the items will be things that you use once, like a sheet of paper. You use it as a background and it's in your album, it's done. Some of the things will be things that you use to build your stash, like ink pads and stencils and stamps. Yeah. Now, the reason it's called Best of Both Worlds, because if you work with a scrapbook kit, like something that you subscribe to, you have the great effect of somebody who knows about design and about how things go together, and they curate this group of supplies that will work really beautifully together in lots of different ways. And one kit can make thousands of different interpretations that will all be beautiful. But the downside of a kit is that whatever they put in is what you get, and you don't get any choice over that. So what if you like 85% of the kit, but you always end up with something that you don't like? That's where I come in. So instead of having a subscription, which does make it easier if you just kind of subscribe and forget about it. This, you do have a little bit of effort, but hey, you get control over saying, I like this paper and that paper and this paper, but not that one. I'll never use that. So you don't order that one. Or saying, I love paper, but I don't like stamping. So you don't order ink and you don't order stamps. Or saying, you know what? I have a lot of stencils, and my goal in 2023 is to use the stencils that I already have and not add to that collection until I've used them all multiple times. Then you don't add the stencils that I put in the February kit. Yeah? And then you can also do the opposite. If there's something in there that you really love and you want to add more of it, you just increase the quantity. So you could have one of all the papers, but what if you do double pages? You could have two of all the papers, or two of half the papers that you like best. And that's how Best of Both Worlds works. So you get a curated list, and you get me showing you how I use all of it. So you can scrap along with me if you would like, but you are never boxed into anything that you don't want to buy. So anything you don't want, you don't order, because I want you to use what you buy. That's really important to me. Okay? So get it out of your stash and into your album. Also, if you're not in a position to shop, maybe you're doing no spend January, or maybe you're doing a stash freeze or anything like that, you can look at the kit itself and just choose similar things from your stash, and you could still scrap right along with me. Cool? Last option, if you have a local store, take that shopping list into the local store and buy your stuff there, because local stores that sell scrapbooking supplies are few and far between now. We need to support any of them that we have left. So if you have one, please support them and go in and shop. And I think even most people who run online shops will tell you that, because we don't want those stores to disappear. They're a really important part, like a cog in the system. And if they all go, then it's a very sad world where you can only buy online. Most people who work in online shops want you to be able to, they want to supplement what you can buy in real life, because we all love shopping in real life if we get the chance. So if you do have an online or a local store, then order from them, buy from them, support them, send them my love. Mwah! Right. Does that help? I hope that helps. So all this month, January stash, January kit. And then next month, February. So you can order February now, and it'll be ready for then. So I think that explains how Best of Both Worlds works. And the way that it all works for me to do these videos is that you shop through that little link. So the link that's in the description box below, and it's at the top of the live chat that takes you to the kit, that's an affiliate link. So the price is exactly the same whether you went and got those items in the scrapbook.com shop on your own or whether you add them from my list. But if you've clicked through my link and whatever you buy, I get a little commission out of what you've ordered. And that pays for me to make these videos rather than to go get a job doing something else. Okay? So the two biggest ways you can support this sort of stuff is to take a class from me and to order the kit. Those are the things I offer that you can pay for that then keep my lights on. All right, no more advertising. Let's scrapbook. Sophia is there to say, please give a thumbs up if you're liking this sort of thing. Right. Now, and I don't do that big of a speech every time. I just thought, well, let's start the new year with a nice explanation. So hopefully that wasn't too bad. Right. Then, next thing I always do is to make a sketch for the page today. So what are we going to do with all these stickers? Oh, Kirsty makes an excellent point. She says, a lot of people watch sport or ballet who don't play sport or dance, so scrapbooking can be a spectator sport. Why not? Lovely. Right, so I've got my scrapbook.com notepad, and I've got my pink Sharpie. Thanks, Cassie. And let's see if I can start the new year drawing a square. Well, ish. Okay, so I've got these two 3x4 portraits. That's smaller than they really are. It's okay. I'm not great at scale when I do these sketches sometimes. Okay, so we're going to have two 3x4 photos here. They're going to have some papers layered behind them. That's what all these lines are. If you're new to my sketches, welcome to my wobbly world. So we're going to stack a bunch of papers behind there, okay? With me so far? Oh, that was the worst one yet, Shimelle. What is that? There you go. Okay. And the background is going to be a 1/3, 2/3 background. So you're going to have two pattern papers. And you can, if you are not a big fan of the patterns, you can swap to solids if you want. But hi, my name's Shimelle and I like pattern. So I use patterns, not solids. Cool? Right. Then the sticker stuff comes in on this border. So there's going to be, I don't know how should I draw this? I'm going to draw it as semicircles. And then I'm going to put confetti along here. Now you could actually do this with semicircles. You could use circle punch. But that's not what I have that needs using today. What I have that needs using is two whole sticker books. Okay. So there's going to be a big border made of stickers. And I don't mean a border sticker, although that would also work. I'm going to layer in lots of different stickers there. Then I'm going to take some of those stickers and also bring them into the other elements here, so that maybe there's one here. Yeah, so that it all connects. And the border is going to go off to the left while the photos go off to the right to balance. So I could put the border on this side, but then this bit is just going to be almost empty and everything's going to be on this 2/3. So today I'm going to balance it a little bit by having the stickers go to the left and the photos and paper layers go to the right. Then options on where the journaling goes. Depending on what pattern papers you use, you could put the journaling here or here. Or if you've got a really long story, both. Yeah? So those are journaling options. All right. So if you would like to screen grab the first sketch of 2023, there it is. All right, let's let's figure out what papers are going to work. Okay. Now, put my colors over here just in case you're curious. No, of course I haven't emptied out the big trimmer. It's still holding Christmas supplies and even some supplies from before Christmas, because why not? Oh, and things I should tell you about for kit shopping in February. So over the last, all the times that we've been doing Best of Both Worlds, I've been adding one ink pad at a time so that we have this kind of build up eventually of Distress Oxides. We have been building that collection for quite a while. So in 2023, I'm going to start adding a collection of colors. The idea is not that you would need to buy all three. I did 3 this month. The idea is probably, so all 3 that I've added have been in kits before. So you may have all 3 in your stash already by adding them one at a time over time. But if you're new or you've only just started building an ink collection, you might not. If that's you, then just add 1 and you'll be fine. But I thought I'd start to kind of show you some building opportunities. So I'm going to be adding color combinations there. This time it's monochromatic, but it won't always be. Okay, so you could just have 1 and you'd be fine. Right, let's figure out what papers. So these are all my cut aparts here, right? Yeah, so these are not my backgrounds. And also I put, usually I do a stencil or a stamp, but there was this cute lemon Valentine stamp that's only like $4. So I put it on there because it brought me joy. But you certainly don't need to have it if you were like, Shimelle, that's silly. It's okay. It's fine. It is a little bit silly. But I liked it anyway. Right. So this one definitely works with these colors. But this would not be a great one for putting underneath all the stickers, because then the stickers are not going to have like a background that you can see them easily. It would be hard to tell what's a sticker and what's the pattern paper. This, on the other hand, you can put stickers on top of this. Yeah. So this one is in. That one is also an interesting choice. I love those 2 colors together. Does it look too snowy that way? Does it look a bit more like clouds if I do it that way? I think that might work. Just gonna double check that I then have the right pieces for layering behind there. I've got some green. I guess I could do, oh no, if I do red and green, it's gonna look like Christmas background. I don't want Christmas background. Okay. Right. I think that's my answer. Those. Okay. Sarah's cat Smee likes to watch the live streams. She thinks he likes the colors. Who wouldn't? All right. There we go. So we're going to do 8 by 12 in red. Just doing a branding strip here. What is going on there? That's better. So I've got that for another page later. What's happening here? This one has a branding strip that's not printed straight. Wild. Okay. 4 for this one. Which then means I need to Frankenstein them together. A piece of 12 by 12 out, or do I need to get one? I think I've got one here. Yep. Okay, so we'll Frankenstein it on here. Glue. No. Things I sometimes cannot do. Attach paper to another paper in a straight line. There we go. Got it. Okay. This one is going to go over here. And the border is going to go here. I'm not going to attach this yet because I have a little idea that I might pop it up later. Right. Let's get the photos ready then. So let's go through here and figure out which papers I want behind there. Well, I definitely want this grid. And I want some butterflies. And maybe even, I could do a bunch of green behind there. Maybe even the craft dots. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay. All right. Photos underneath here? Yes. Bend and snap. I think Claire's here, so extra bonus for Claire. Scissors. What do you like, Shimelle? Don't mind me, I just have all the bits of stickers that I've cut off the edge of things stuck right there. Oh, while I'm working with a photo, important announcement. Have you seen what's happening at Persnickety? Just through this weekend, there's a New Year's sale and it's 25% off everything. So if you wanted to order photo prints from Persnickety, who are my favorite photo printer ever, I'm not on commission with them, so you don't need a code, and I don't get anything for telling you this. I just love the quality and the customer service and the whole shebang. Independent, woman-owned business who knows what she likes and does it really well. And she knows about scrapbookers using all different sizes. So Persnickety sell all different prints. You can order 3x4 photos. You can order all sorts of things. You can also order 12x12 prints. You want full page photos in your 2023 album or your album from last year? Go order them. They're 25% off right now. And they are based in the States. So so I do order from them, but what I do is wait until I've got a big order and then put it all through at once. So I'm going to do my Disney trip order this weekend. So, ooh, what just happened there? Okay. You still here? Oh, that was weird. Sorry, I just got this thing that popped up to log into a Wi-Fi that I'm not on, but it must be on a timer that I used it like a week ago. And it must have refreshed to be like, you haven't done this, but I'm not on that Wi-Fi. I'm miles away from it. So I suddenly was like, oh no, where's the feed? But it's still here. We're good. We're good. Don't panic, Shimelle. Okay, I think I'm going to start with the grid. Save the lovely rainbow border for later. I'm not going to cut both border strips off straight away because I do like the idea of having a journaling box that has the rainbows at the bottom, although you could just put it back over the top if that happened. Okay. Let's do this side. Oh my goodness. I have one of the songs from Jack and the Beanstalk in my head, and it's driving me mad. But I suppose I always have something stuck in my head. I might as well sing about giants. Right. So I'm going to start with this box here. And I'm going to ink in black today. Oh, something to check. If you needed Vicky B Foundations papers, check that it doesn't throw your shipping way off, because I went to order another pack and it did something really weird to my shipping. So I'm going to send a message over to customer service and see if that was some weird glitch or something later today. But just in case you're doing that and you're going, wait, why did my shipping shoot up at a weird amount? Check if it's that, because it might be that. I don't know. If the first live of the month is a Friday, then scrapbook.com aren't awake yet by the time it goes live. So it can't be like, hi, what's going on here? Although, to be honest, I don't do a lot of checking in with them. When I first started Best of Both Worlds with them, I would ask a few questions, but now after kind of the first 3 kits, I had quite a whole system and just do my own thing. And it's quite fancy in that whatever, like if it's something they can restock, so if we all order something today, and then that makes it a really popular item, or and it's almost sold out, or it is sold out, then they will restock it pretty quickly, which then means that I'm trying to decide which bits to use. It then means that you get another chance to get it if you didn't order like on the first day. Most of the items get restocked pretty quickly if they can, so that within the month you still have a shot at getting it. But I try to pick items that there is plenty of inventory. So there we go. Now, do I want anything else behind there? Just looking at sentiments on the cut aparts here. That could be quite cute. Let's have that one. That could be too. And then over here. So let's have this blue one. Oh, yowza. Sorry, I just pinched in, I didn't cut myself or anything. I pinched a nerve in my thumb. Right, let's try that again. That wasn't very fun. Sorry. I didn't mean to make you jump. And I know sometimes watching people cut with things makes some people nervous. I did not cut myself. It's fine. And I feel fine now. It's just one of those momentary things. Let's move on. So I've got that one. This one, yeah. I think those two can go together well. Jane says scrapbooking is a dangerous sport. It's fine. It's fine. Just be careful with brads, people. That's all I'm saying. Brads are dangerous. That's why I don't put them in kits. I'm only half joking. Trauma from brads. It's just not worth it. All right, let's punch. Center that. Anything else from here? Oh, this one that says fun and games. Yeah. It's an interesting shape, these. We'll see how I can make it work. Oh no, Sherry! Sherry brought all her succulents in to protect them from the winter, but they've died. Oh, Shelby, don't drop the hole punch on your foot. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. I wonder about this as a journaling box. I'm going to cut it out and see. I may or may not use it today. Not this one. This one. All right. I think that's probably where I'm going with paper. And then time to get some stickers. Now, should I do that as a box or cut? I kind of like the idea of cutting out that shape that it is. Do we agree? Because this yellow is so different, although it does appear here too. It is so different than this yellow. I think I'm going to cut it. If you look and you're like, nope, you should have kept it as a box, then that's an important lesson for you to learn because you know what you like, and I can make the decision and you can be like, no, I disagree, and then when you make yours, don't cut yours because you can let me make the mistakes for you so that you don't have anything like that where you're like, oh, I've cut this. I can't go back and uncut it, and I wish I could. No, I'm going to show you first, and if you don't like it, you don't do that. Let me save you from these feelings. Okay. So, interesting development this morning that I haven't told you about yet. So our whole neighborhood and a quite surprisingly large group of neighborhoods around us have no water. It's a massive water main break. But the school apparently is on a separate line and they have water. So our school is open. A couple of the neighboring schools are closed, but ours said, nope, we're open, send them in. I don't know if that means they're going to be eating lunch on paper plates because they won't be able to do dishes by lunchtime, but for now, they're in. But oh my goodness, I washed my hands with antibac instead of water, and I just feel like my skin feels weird. All right. Oh, wrong way. Pay attention, Shimelle, pay attention. Shelby says, how were WB's shows at the theater? So lovely. So much inappropriate humor, but so lovely. He had a brilliant time. He's now like totally got this bug, and he just really goes on to me about how much he wants to be in a show all the time, which is adorable and intimidating all at the same time. But yes, he had a lovely time, and on his last day, he was absolutely spoiled by the cast and crew. A couple of them sat down and gave him lots of tips and advice and encouragement. They took him out to dinner on his last day. They gave him these lovely souvenirs that are just like, the people in this show are like, there are some really big names in this show, and they gave him little gifts and stuff, and it was just adorable, and including some people who maybe you would think from their character personas, like the kinds of characters they play in different things, that maybe they're a little standoffish, but clearly they are super softies underneath it all, because like, just adorable. So, yep, he's had a great time, and now he's just on cover, which means like he's the understudy, well, an understudy, until the 15th. So he has an outfit hanging up in his wardrobe all ironed and ready to go. Should we get a phone call? But the funny bit is it's a bit like you have to be on call, but obviously he's a child. He's not on call. I'm the one who has to answer the phone or check her emails a certain number of times a day and at certain times to make sure he hasn't been called in, which is a really quite weird feeling. But yeah, he has just had a marvelous time and made, even if he were to never get another part, he's made lots of lovely memories, but he's very hopeful that it will not be the last time this happens. So we'll see what happens. And I've learned a lot about being that level of stage parent and what that entails, because it's not small. I will tell you that. Right, I need some Pop-Tarts. Papillos, where are you? There you are. Pop it up. My first Papillos of 2023. Gemma thinks, yikes, to an 8-year-old being on call. Yeah, exactly. It is quite funny. Sophia says, when we had the severe cold last month, we had 2 water mains break at the same time. Thankfully, we were okay, but quite a few friends just down the road had no water all day. Gemma's like, wet wipes. That's what I did for my face this morning. It also feels weird. Yeah. Yes. So Sophia said the last time they had a water main break, it was 3 a.m. Yeah. So ours apparently broke at 4 something in the morning. So when we woke up and we had no water, and I checked Thames Water website, it was like the last update was 4:27 a.m. Oh, I shouldn't have taken all those backs off yet. Just this side. So the weird bit is, so for those of you with local knowledge, mostly Sophia, but maybe there are other Londoners watching, I don't know. So the break is down on Eltham Road in Lee Green, but it's had a knock-on effect, and there's then a pipe that collapsed under the heath, and there's sinkholes on the heath. So that's like one's over here, and then there's a whole village, and one's over here, but they're the same line. So that's quite big. So there's, I think, 8 postcodes out of water currently. So SE 3, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12. But anyway, the outage goes all the way to the peninsula one way, down by the O2, and all the way to Hither Green the other direction. So it's quite a big area to not have any water this morning. But there we go. And then, of course, there was somebody on the class chat who had all the lovely perspective that when you are trying to wash up and you have no water, you don't think about it. And she was like, let's all use this time to be grateful for how lucky we are to turn on the tap and have clean water most of the time. I'm like, oh, bless. I love your perspective, but that was not where I was going this morning. I was just trying to figure out what I can do. Gemma says, at least if you're on call, you don't have to go all that far. As long as the trains are running, it's not that problematic. But with the train strikes, we really only had one day where our train route was running. So we did bus and tube to get to and from the theater for every show but one. But it just takes longer. It's not complicated. It just takes longer. So it wasn't problematic. And I checked about halfway through. We do this thing where I make him lead the way and I follow to see if he knows his way around London yet. And he could make it from home to the theater without any problem. So that was good to know. And Claire says, so happy he got his photo with Rob Madge. Oh my goodness. The photo with Rob Madge was the biggest deal. And he is just so happy. And they had a whole chat. Rob gave him advice as a former child actor and told him to stay in school. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Rob. And all sorts of just really good things like that. And I think that was a big time core memory. Sophia says tube and bus. Yeah, so I can take a bus that takes me from here, because we're in the land, Southeast London is the land that the tube forgot. So we don't have the tube here in Blackheath, but we can take a bus from here to North Greenwich and get on the tube there. And then the Jubilee line takes you all the way into town. So we went from North Greenwich to Bond Street and then walk from Bond Street to the theater. Yeah, that's what we did. Right, I feel like this is going to need something down here. And also, I've put a journaling box in the place where my title was supposed to go. Title can go. Well, maybe, is that the title? Maybe that's the title. I don't know. Okay, but I'm ready to move on to sticker fun now. Okay. Shelby needs to do that more with her husband. I swear sometimes I need directions to places like a month before. Oh, you mean like you need it? I thought you meant your husband gets lost all the time, so you were going to make him lead the way so you could see that he had confidence. But you're going to have your husband do it to you. Yes, Sophia, so that's what Blackheath has. Sophia says when she lived in Greenwich, it was main line only, 2 trains an hour, and if they were down, then your only option was the bus or the car or just to stay home. Yeah, so that's Blackheath Station, and we used to, until December, we had direct trains from Blackheath to Charing Cross, but Southeastern Rail, who are not my favorite company in the world, decided that we don't need those anymore, and now our options are London Bridge or Cannon Street. So to get from here to Charing Cross is now 2 trains. And there's a lot of people upset about that. So, okay, so what I'm going to do is the border on here now. And so I have this just separate, remember? And I'm going to pencil in where the photos hit, so I can not waste loads of cool stickers underneath there. Where have all my pencils gone? Maybe I just used my erasable pen here. Okay, so we're gonna put this in about where it's gonna go. So I want that journaling box to go just over this edge, but not so much that it's going to cover the stickers. So there's still gonna be stickers here. And I'm just gonna move this down the tiniest bit. Okay. So that's my space that's going to be covered. Let's make a sticker border. Oh, we walk to school. Yeah, school's 10-minute walk. Easy peasy. All right. So let's have a look through all the stickers in here so we can see. I want to pull out stickers that are more the colors that we have here and less the muted colors, but I will include some craft, I think, because I included it up here too. So lots of these. I'm not using those right now. I have an idea for those and I'm going to share it with you later this month. These craft strips might come in useful. Okay. Let's have something like this larger piece. So I'm looking for my biggest stickers first. Like that. And what have I got in here? Like this one works. Let's have that in straight away. And the label from here. Okay, so I'm going to pop this up into this little grouping here. And build out to the left. Yep, okay. So that's going to overlap but not cover the wording, yeah? So yeah, that's already starting to work. Yes, right. Let's go back to this one. Have this on the top of that, yep. So this is going right over the edge of that so that I don't get a gap between that and the drink. And we know we love a camera. No such thing as too many camera motifs in the scrapbook world. Love a camera. Can I make that work there? No, because then the bottom word is not legible. So camera is better up here at the top. Yeah. Can have little pieces like this, which coordinate with that. Where's my booper gun? Here. And these then, the smaller pieces, confetti then can come so that it has a margin all the way around. Yeah. Trying to decide which pieces. Okay. Like this one. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry, microphone. Sorry. How come people never sneeze when they're doing the news? Has anybody ever seen somebody sneeze, like a newsreader or news anchor or anything like that? Do they ever sneeze? Yay! Yay! Megan is excited about orange in the February kit. It's her son's favorite color, and she's always happy about color schemes with orange. I was really happy about orange, and I tell you what was a shocker. You go to scrapbook.com and you search for pattern. You just go to pattern paper, and then you can choose, like, leave all the brands in, but choose by color. And there are nowhere near enough nice orange papers. So that orange background we've actually had in a background pack before, but I went ahead and included it as an individual sheet because we needed an orange background, and there are just so few. We need more collections with orange. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to take this one there. But then I wanted the bigger one to coordinate. Now, remember, I'm going to have some embellishment over here to match, so I could bring that out, which I think I'm going to need to do, because I don't think there's a great place for it to sit, unless I put it here. Oh, that might be quite nice, actually. Okay, so let's edge that one, and then put it down there. Megan says, KI used to make great oranges. They did, and I still have some stashed away because they're just so good. Okay, so I need something to go in between this circle and the camera, but I can worry about that as I go. Yeah? Claire says, I admire you being able to scrap Disney photos using normal supplies. I cannot scrap Disney without using Disney supplies, and I frustrate myself with this. Advice welcome. Have you done the Most Magical Scrapbook class? There are so few Disney products in that entire thing, and it's 2 whole albums of pages. Yeah. It'll just be a mindset thing, because all of Disney is color coordinated to make brilliant photos that then you can just use those colors out into your pages. Gemma buys all the Halloween papers for orange B-sides. I agree with that. You get great purples as well. Excellent strategy. Okay, so this one is going to go somewhere because it coordinates. So I've got those two. So that's going to go somewhere. But I'm not sure yet where, so I'm just going to put it on a block so I don't forget about it. And this one, maybe that one too, when I come to putting the embellishment on the right-hand side. Okay. Now, in here, I have these confetti pieces that I can use. So what colors do I want? I want this giant red one to bring the red from that side to this side. This is going to go up at the top. Actually, do I have a small red as well? Yes. So the big red is going to go down here. And the small red is going to be a confetti piece up here. So confetti, in this case, are the pieces that are not overlapping. Yeah, like that. A label or two. Yeah. Hello, Cheryl. I'm at the gym with Cheryl. Excellent. Does that count as me going to the gym? I would love it for it to count as me going to the gym. That would be great. Thank you. Right, I'm gonna bring this color in. Claire says she hasn't done Most Magical Scrapbook. Yes. I mean, I'm biased here, but do Most Magical Scrapbook. It's a zillion videos, all Disney themed and not licensed product. And yeah, you can see how the colors come together and all sorts of things like that. Right, so I'm going to cut this one. put the rest of that label down here maybe. Okay. So I need something here and here. Oh, thank you, Megan. Megan says, even if you don't scrap Disney, the Most Magical Scrapbook class is a really good class. Thank you. And Sophia says, you should, Claire, for a start. There's a ton of videos. Aw, Sophia says, Shimelle always gives great value for money, but that class she went above and beyond. And Claire asks, but did I go to infinity and beyond? It did feel like it at one point in time. Kirsty says, MMS is the closest I'm going to come to a Walt Disney World holiday. MMS. I'm trying to think what that could stand for. Oh, the class! The Adhesive Avenger. I'm thinking of it as a place. The Adhesive Avenger is pointing out that MMS is the abbreviation for my own class, Most Magical Scrapbook. I don't know why I did not think of that. I'm sorry. Brain not working. The Adhesive Avenger is downstairs creasing up laughing at me. Right. Gemma. Disney. Thoughts on Disneyland Paris with a toddler? Worth the trip or wait until later? Are you ready for my opinion on this? Please keep in mind I took my 8-month-old to Disneyland in California. I have no regrets. I have one slight regret. There was one bit of worry because I took an 8-month-old, which Gemma will know means had not finished all of the vaccinations, and I didn't think about the fact that there are then outbreaks. So I did have 2 weeks of being very worried because when we left, there was the announcement there was an outbreak of measles in Southern California. So that is the only part that was stressful. But taking a small person to Disney, any of the parks, is wonderful. And there are no places better prepared for small, tiny babies and children than the Disney parks. There are lots of things. If you ever took a baby or a toddler to a Disney park and were like, I just couldn't wait to get out because everything was overstimulated, there were places for you and you just didn't know about them, because this is the only weird thing, is that you have to kind of know they're there. So there's a baby care center in every place, and it's useful for changes. It has quiet space and rocking chairs and comfy chairs and stuff for nursing, or just dark lit, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Low light, quiet rooms to calm down from overstimulation. There's also first aid care center, all of that kind of wrapped in there in every park, so that it is there to make it as easy as possible, and it's genius. So yeah, now there is the argument, lots of people will tell you, they will say, if you take a tiny child to Disney, they're not going to remember it. Correct. But A, you scrapbook, so they will get to see it. B, you will remember it. Now, those are some very, very happy memories that I have. All of the trips I've taken him on at various ages. I've had a joyous time, and there's a reason why you see me scrapbook Disney photos over and over again, because they are some of my happiest parenting memories. So there we go. The only reason I would say wait is if you were in a situation you were like, I can only do a Disney trip once in my life, legit. But lots of people say they're only going to do once in their lifetime and then they go 10 times. But if you legitimately were like, I can only do a Disney trip once in a lifetime, then go when they're like 5. If you could do Disneyland Paris again when baby is 5, then you don't have that worry. That's the only reason I would ever say don't do it now, is that it's going to be the only time, and you would like them to also have a trip that they remember. But you will remember it. And I mean, the same can be said for all sorts of baby classes, taking your toddler to the zoo, all of that. They just because they won't remember it later doesn't mean it doesn't contribute to their development, doesn't mean it doesn't contribute to the bond between you, doesn't mean that it's not filled with serotonin and all of the wonderful things that you get. Likewise, if you cannot stand to, like, if you are agoraphobic and you decided to push to take your baby, then that maybe would be problematic. There's going to be people and there's going to be big open spaces. But other than that, if that was going to fill you with anxiety, then I guess those feelings are going to be there too. But if that's not going to fill you with anxiety, I say go. There we go. Fair enough, fair enough. I'm trying to see where else I want this zigzaggy one. I'm not sure yet. Now, I still needed to get a piece that's going to go in there. And I think maybe I'm going to want some pieces along the side, but am I? I want to build more down here, I think, instead. Okay. Yeah, definitely crowds. Yeah. One thing, if you're going before they start school, you don't have to go in school holidays. So that will help your first visit be when there aren't as big a crowds, and that's awesome. So when he went to Disneyland at 8 months was when CHA was next door. And all three of us went, and the Adhesive Avenger took Wonder Boy to the parks while I was in the trade show, and then would bring him over and then take him back. So it was great. But that was January, when schools had gone back in January, which is one of the quietest times at Disneyland. And so that was lovely. He wasn't ever super duper stressed. Yeah. Okay. Claire, I'm just waiting for the second part of your story here. Because, yeah, I would say you need a pass. Okay, I'll wait for the whole story before I start reading it out. Okay, I need something down here. Oh, let's go back to this sticker book. Hello, Christina. It's okay that you joined just now. It means that you missed the weirdness of seeing me in fisheye, and it was bizarre and scary and weird. I don't have a fisheye lens here, so that's why it was weird. It turns out you can just turn that on YouTube without even realizing it. Okay. Maybe I go ahead and go to these strips now then. Is there anything from this back page that I wanted? Oh. Okay, so I've seen Claire's whole story now. So Claire says, I must share, Disney were not very accommodating on my recent trip to Disneyland Paris. I have arthritis and a hip impingement, so use crutches for walking. I was encouraged by a cast member to get a pass to help. Went to guest services and was told I didn't qualify as my conditions weren't on their list. So I had the most painful but still magical 3 days. Very disappointed in their approach. Now, Paris has recently had a change to how the disability passes work. And I know some people have had various experiences. I have a diabetic friend who was really worried because some people had told her that she would no longer have a pass for that, and not being able to get out of a queue if she needed to was and then be able to come back was a bit of a deal breaker for her, but she had no problem. She took in her papers and it was all good. It's shocking that being on crutches like in front of them is not enough. Before your next trip, I would investigate if getting a letter does something. So it has to do with some sort of guideline in France. It's not a universal thing at all the Disney parks that they redid this one. And I know several people who've had passes before by just rocking up to the desk and being like, this is my disability and this is why I need a pass. Can I have a pass, please? And they say yes. They had no problem in the past, but at this point needed to get a doctor's note, which is not really something that you expect So yeah, I'm really sorry. I mean, I don't work for them, so I bear no responsibility, but have only heard, because you're not the only person I've heard who's had a story like that, and I am sorry that you had to go through it. That's not very fun and magical at all. No, I would make sure. Did you send feedback? Send feedback to tell them this, because that does make a difference. And admittedly, it may be that you don't hear back from the feedback, or you may get an automated response to the feedback. But if everybody in that situation sends the feedback, then it gets noticed. Whereas if lots of people just go home quietly, it doesn't. So I think it's worth sending the feedback. Oh, I don't like that one there as much as I thought I would. That's okay, I have other pieces. Right. Go to the words, Shimelle, and come back to this gap that you're bothered about. Okay. Okay. So let's start adding in some of the pieces that are the colors that are from the photos. Brighten it up a little bit. Ah. Oh my goodness, how specific is that, Claire? So she had a letter. Rheumatoid arthritis is on their list, but not psoriatic arthritis. Oh my goodness. Ah, okay, Wendy's got more info. Crutches are a no, wheelchair is a yes. Oh, no, wheelchair, sorry, back up. Not wheelchair is a yes. If your issue is something that can be covered by being in a wheelchair, then you can't have a pass. Yeah, okay, so there's definitely some issues. Definitely. Can I get this to go right behind there? No. Okay, I'm going to cut it in half and stack it. Yeah, that is really shocking that different types of arthritis get different treatment. That's really weird. But yeah, I know the system has changed, and this echoes what I had heard, that it is currently not anywhere near perfect at Disneyland Paris for anybody who might require special assistance in that way. Yeah. So, not being alone is really not the helpful kind of enthusiasm, the helpful kind of information you need. But at least it wasn't somebody with a personal grudge toward you, but also the whole situation is not cool. Yeah. Wendy in Walt Disney World just found something else she knew she could get a pass for and said she had that. We don't endorse that, Wendy, but if you couldn't get something for a legit reason, there you go. And I do often wonder with Disneyland Paris, so the American parks and the cruise line have the Plan Disney panel, which is a group of Disney fans who get a quote-unquote job. They're not paid in cash. They're paid in a trip to Disney in order to answer your different questions. When I say your, I mean anybody can write in and leave a question for the Plan Disney panel. But they don't have this for Disneyland Paris. And I actually raised this point because I made it a few cuts along. I've never made it to the actual panel, but a couple of times I've made it a few steps down the line in applying for it. And one of those was when I had an annual pass to Paris, and I pointed out in my application that I qualified to give advice for the American parks, but I also, especially if you were traveling from Europe to the American parks, But that I also qualified in giving experience information from Paris. But when I say qualified, they have like you have to have spent this many days in the parks over the last 12 months. So I met that for another park that they weren't asking for. Does that make sense? I'm not trying to say I'm qualified to be a Disneyland Paris expert, but that's what I mean. Yeah. So I did mention that, and I got a few steps along the line, but I did not get the job in the end. And then last time around, I didn't qualify because we didn't go again until this year. So I can apply again next time. We'll see. But you never quite know what they're looking for because they have to balance the panel, obviously. And bilingual people are particularly useful because they get questions in multiple languages. And I don't really qualify there. I can read okay-ish in Spanish, but I would not feel confident writing my answers. So no, not bilingual. Yes, I think it's very funny that I'm putting "You Got This" on a Toy Story Land page, as if Toy Story Land is a life challenge. But in this conversation, I'm starting to think it is. Okay, what else? So something else down here. Circles. No, those are for over there. But this one maybe. Yeah, Wendy's right. In Paris, all the passes require a letter now, and it might be that your letter then doesn't, even the letter isn't enough. Yeah. Weirdness. I wonder if maybe they had too many people abusing the system. I don't know. I have no idea. I've never had one. A couple times I've met up with friends who have them. So a couple times, I think literally twice, I've done the special queue with a pass so that I could ride with a friend. But that's it. Yeah. And one time they were very kind because one of those two rides, a bunch of us really wanted to ride Big Thunder together. But the friend with the pass, there was no way that she could do the queue at the length it was. So we went around and asked and said, look, there's because I don't know, maybe you can take 2 people with you on the pass or something. And we explained and we were like, there's this many of us. We'd really like to all ride together because we really want a ride photo together. And most of the rides at the park we're not doing together. We're separating. But we'd really like to do this one together. We don't need to go on instantly, but we can't do the length that it's posted at. Is there any compromise that we could come up to? And they were able to help, but that was before the new system. So there we go. Right, how can I make these? So I don't know if that same question in this current system would be answered with a ha ha ha. No, maybe. Right, gonna put something here. If I got like a medium-sized heart. And see, there's stars on here, but not so many in the sticker book. I think there's one. Is it literally the only star, even though there's stars on there? So I've got plenty of these hearts. Great. But I'm not finding stars in here. They're on these little boards. That's it. Yeah, there's none. Okay, so to add in something up here needs to be another one of these hearts, and then I'm going to add my puffy hearts and my stamps to finish this border piece. Okay, so let's get this one maybe there. Gemma says, how long does it take you from home to get to DLP by train? Well, so the direct Disneyland Paris train is no more. That station is just has no international service at the moment. So we would need to go to Paris and change, or Calais and change, or wherever. Where is it that we normally change if we change? I can't think of where the train station is. I don't do the ferry. Shimelle does not do ferries. Tinkerbell type ferries, yes. The kind that go on water, no. I'm terrible. I've never been on one where I didn't get sick, except for one time where I developed a very funny method to figure out how to not get sick. But mostly I just get sick. So no, I don't do the ferry. I think we could probably do door to door, including security at St. Pancras, if we really had to, in like 4.5 hours. But I normally would say 6 is far comfier. Yeah? I think, yeah. But like the direct train was super fast because it was just over 2 hours, wasn't it? It was like 2 hours and 20 minutes to go from St. Pancras to the gates of Disneyland Paris. And it's not hard for me to get to St. Pancras. So that was super, super duper. But now I would need to make a connection somewhere because the direct train currently does not exist. What can I do in this spot here? Come on, stickers. Okay, go back to the weird motifs at the front because if nothing else, I can put a second camera in. So I've got butterflies, I've got globes. I've got a lot of office supplies. But I do have this other camera. How did I come up with, I've got multiple mobile phone text messaging stickers. We'll work out what I'm going to do with those. Right. So I think it's this camera. Oh no! Shelby said she was due to go to DLP on Boxing Day. Didn't realize the train started then and Eurostar canceled the tickets. It was a mess. Oh, that's a real shame. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm going to have a camera next to a camera. But it's all right. And then a word strip and a zigzaggy underneath here. Okay, words. I feel better now that the camera's there. I just needed to commit. Just needed to commit to the camera. It's all fine. Oh, I've gone past the word strips. Where are they? There they are. Blue, red, red. Green. See? It all ends up fine. I stare at the gaps for a little bit, and then it comes to me, and I can work it out. Okay, so stickers. Lil, that's where. Yes, we change in Lil. Sorry, I couldn't think. Calais is where the ferries come in, and I was like, it's not there, because that's ferries. Yeah, Lil is, there's a train that you can get off there rather than change at Gare du Nord. But you can change at Gare du Nord in Paris. So Claire's like, we drive because I don't do public transport. And I take public transport because I hate driving. I can drive, I don't have a car, and I hate it. And both of us do. So you know how there's like life strategies on just avoiding the stressful situations in life? If we can avoid driving, that is brilliant. Okay. Now, Wordfetti. I'm going to take my little word stamps. Now, I know the color for this month is tumbled glass, but look, that's just the same color that I'm going on top of, so it's not going to show up. So I'm going to do chipped sapphire, which was also in that list of the inks that coordinate well with this kit. So navy. So I've got this one that says Magical Moments. And you can have lots of others here. We've got, I'm hoping this is a set that you can use throughout the year. I'm going to use this one. This never gets old. Might bring in red as well, but I hadn't. I didn't put that on the list. Not yet, but I'm going to have it as an option. Take this one down here. And the dreaded best day ever, because it's a Disney page. Now, we laugh a lot about best day ever being a highly overused phrase in scrapbooking products, but here's the thing. It's a line from Tangled. So I basically only ever use it on Disney pages, and I use it with that, oh, that's so not straight. I use it with that kind of tongue-in-cheek of the Tangled scene, because if you haven't seen Tangled, Rapunzel gets out of her tower and goes through this whirlwind of emotions where she's like, best day ever! Worst day ever, because she's free, but she's also highly ill-prepared. So yeah, I like, if I do use a best day ever thing, it's always in that kind of, I'm using this because of the Disney link and because I know that best days come with mixed emotions and all sorts of things like that. So there's some super short ones in here. I might use this one that says the cutest. Oh, I have a green in my inks this time too, so I could bring that out. Or I could just, oh, hold on. I could try this grayer blue. So that's Stormy Sky. Let's try that. This one just says the cutest. Oh, that's quite nice on that tone on tone. Yeah, I like it. Am I off the screen? No, I'm good. And would like to do this Love Your Smile if I can find a place where it would fit nicely. Could it actually fit above there? It could. I'm going to do it. Put it right at the top. Cuteness. And then maybe there's a small one that I could put in red just there. Maybe, or maybe here. So my littlest one, so there's Memories, Just Us. And then it doesn't really fit, but Memories does. We can do that one. Okay. What is it with me not being able to get them straight? So if you also have this problem where you put them down and they're not straight, lay it down on the desk and then pick it up. Okay. So there's quite a lot of red happening right there, so I think I'll bring it down here. Nope. Ink the whole thing, Shimelle. Works better that way. Cool. Okay. And then the white stickers. So So start with the big ones. One here. One here. One there. Then medium. Small. Medium. Small. These I'm going to separate a little bit more. Medium. And bring it down to the bottom, I think. Small. All right. And then you know what else that needs? It needs some gold. There we go. Now, let this dry a bit. Work on the embellishment on the other side and put a title on it. If you like it, then you should have put a title on it. Yeah. Okay. That's about right. So, I'm going to embellish. Yeah, so a little bit here, a little bit there with kind of this rolled in and then this space here. So I think this one maybe tucks under there. And I can add in a red tab above this. Aw, Gemma's little one has fallen asleep listening to me. Stay sleepy, little one. And so I can bring in this red piece. There. And then I've got more of my zigzaggy piece here. So I'm going to cut a piece of this to go over here. And a piece to go here. Behind there, I saw something I wanted to add. What was it? So I can do the craft polka dot tab. Wrong thing, Shimelle. This. Can I make this stick without sticking to the background just yet? Okay, not quite. So we're going to stick this here so that I can see it. So that's going to go there, along with, I've got this tiny last bit here that could go around this corner here. Yep. Could I do one of the word strips right above the, that? Oh, Missy's got a question. Where's Missy's question that I've missed? Boop, boop, boop. Missy. What have I missed? What have I missed? How far back is it? I cannot find it. seeing it. I've gone back to before we started talking about Paris. Is it before that? I can't find it. If anybody sees it, can you copy and paste? I can't see it. Where's Missy's question? Oh, there. Okay, I can see Missy saying, I like album set. Okay. Any ideas on how I could convert this layout to 9 by 12, just shorten the right-hand side? Yeah, so 9 by 12 means that you're going to lose this much. So you're not going to have the room for that to go all the way to the outside. So you'd be better off, you could still do this sort of placement. It's going to be a different ratio. You could still do an 8-inch, 1-inch, and then run a border sticker here. But if you want to have a kind of collage-y piece like this sort of layering, you're going to need to lose a bunch of this, and it will work better with a single photo. Or just bring the photo sizes down a little bit so that you still have enough room. Does that help? Gemma says you could recolor the white puffy hearts with alcohol markers. That's a fancy idea indeed. Or you could buy a set in all the different colors because they make a whole rainbow. But you know, Gemma's far more sensible. Okay. I'll do one of these. There. And then maybe bring in a couple hearts for confetti up there. Right, so I think we're ready to put this on. Now, so the reason I didn't adhere it was because you could use foam strips and pick that whole thing up. So you'd need to pick this up and that side. And I was thinking about it. But now I'm not going to. One, because it would be hard with the gold mist. But so that's kind of made my decision for me. But just know you could. You can pick up the whole 1/3 set and lift the whole thing with pop dots. Papio strips. But I'm just going to pick up this. So I'm going to do that with normal adhesive, or normal pop dots. Could do it with strips, of course. And then these, did I make it so I can't take, I took these off so it wouldn't stick to everything, and now I may have stuck them the wrong way down. Yeah, it's okay. But anyway, these, because that's popped on top of this, need to be popped double. Yeah, so you either use thicker pop dots or you just put one on top of the other. Right, you know, because this makes for riveting live stream viewing, because look at all of these pieces that I now have to take the backs off of. But we love something that's popped up, so just hang in there with me while I take all these off. Right, so I would, Gemma works in 8.5 by 11 or A4, and she says from her experience in working with the narrower page size is that she would stick with the 1/3, 2/3 ratio, make both pieces narrower, and she says that and Kirsty says smaller photos work better for her on smaller pages. Yep. It's quite funny because when I started, I was 8.5 by 11, and I was like, I will go 12 by 12 never. But then once I got used to 12 by 12, it is very much my happy space. But I don't know why one day it just clicked, but it did. So there we go. But I do admire those of you who can move around from different page size to page size without rewiring your brain. But you're right. Getting a new size of album when it's 80% off, that is the time to give it a try. Then, if you get to the end and you didn't love it, you never have to buy it again. And you're like, well, I did that. Moving on. But if you love it, you were able to find out on a bargain. No risk, no stress. Okay, they're all off. Let's turn this baby over. And we're going to put that here. Okay, and this piece is going behind all this. Right there. Now, I didn't get this piece in. I'm not sure that I can. I'm not feeling like it's a great match. It could go there. Still no water? But it hasn't. All right. So you could do that, but I feel like this now looks like a face, like a snowman kind of thing, and I'm not loving it. So, okay, I'll leave that for another time. Journaling's going to go on there, which means I should have done it before I put it on Pop Dot, so I'll have to be really careful. Oh, sorry. It wasn't the 9x12 album that was 80% off. It was Alice buying a rainbow of letter stickers. Oh, I love it. Sorry. I messed up the chat, following the chat, but it's all right. Okay. So I'm going to run a little title in the craft letters down here. But it already says Toy Story Land there. What do I want to call it? Do I call it something funny like Fun and Games? Do I call it Shimelle, you made a mess of the gold mist? I learned the other day, I didn't realize that talking to myself in the third person is not everybody's happy zone. Because somebody sent me a message to say, do you realize that you talk to yourself as you scrapbook? Yes, I entirely know. I'm still doing it. And it just made me giggle so much because it was like, it wasn't a rude message. It was a really like, do you know that you're talking to yourself? Yeah, I really do. Okay. Oh, it's true. The Adhesive Avenger just said, not as bad as Wonder Boy. WB could narrate everything. And sometimes we have to just tell him, stop narrating. You've been going for ages. Hello, Orangina. Sophia says, but you're talking to us and also yourself. Like, yeah. Right. Title. So I want to do something. Oh, there went the other camera. Something in these craft letters. What does my shirt say? Oh, I played at Toy Story Land. That's no. Lane says they must not have watched Vicky yet. Okay. Any ideas? I mean, if your kid does narrate, I suppose it answers the question about does he have an internal monologue or not? Yes. It never stops. Welcome to my world, WB. Sorry, my brain never shuts off. Oh my goodness, I was trying to get to sleep last night and all of the things, my brain was just firing every which direction. I'm like, really? No, this is not helpful. Sophia says it's just a Scrapping Live thing that we sing because Vicky sings as well. And Gemma's like, but Vicky keeps going for 3 hours. You gotta keep going longer for mixed media because everything has to dry and stuff. And so it's much longer. Okay. What do we think? I don't really just want to call it Toy Story Land because that's in the picture. He's wearing overalls that are covered in VHS tape covers. They're called Rewind. That's a little gun tank thing. It was the Rewind collection. So I could do something about that. Or, oh, I could just do something to play on the idea of color. So I could do something like primary colored playland. That's not very good, but you get my idea. What could we do? That's all right, Jean. Have a great weekend. And Gemma says, she's so impressed that Vicky doesn't run out of steam in 3 hours. I think that you can measure the introvert versus extrovert qualities of the various live streaming scrapbookers by how long they can go before they have to go have a lie down in a dark room. Right. Vicky is less introverted than me. Ooh, fast forward to play. I like it. Okay. And hysterically, if this were an edited video, I would be fast forwarding right now so that you don't have to see this in live slow time of me putting down all these letters. But you're live. I can't fast forward on live. Fast forward. And see, here I was worried. I wanted to do this color scheme with this kit, but I was worried about the fact that the letter stickers are pink. But there are 2 alphas in the sticker books. A craft one, this one, and then also a light blue on clear. So that would only work if I put it over here. Light blue on the red would just end up muddy. But the craft works. Okay. Now, last question while I finish this. Instagrammy friends. I've posted a picture of this kit on my feed. And and I posted all the December pages. So those are both Instagram.com/Shimelle if you want to look in a browser, or if you use the Instagram app, just type in my name, Shimelle, and you can find all that. And then, do we think it is worth? Do you want to see all 89 pages that I made in Best of Both Worlds live streams in 2022 in a video? Because that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to make a reel. I've got almost all of them. So I counted up how many videos there were. There were 89. And I'm going to try and do that. But it's going to be effort, so please click the like button. Is that too much to ask? So if I post that on Instagram, please, like, say, subscribe, share, all those good things. Leave a comment, because it's going to take me a long time to get all the photos of 89 layouts and let them flip through to music. So, okay, you're all backing me up. You say, yes, it's worthwhile. So if I do that today, please then go through and click. That would be awesome. That would be fabulous. Elaine says, Paige does an annual flip through. Yes. So the flip through of an album, I'm going to do a flip through of my 2022 album soon, and maybe even the 2021 as well. But to do the pages from Best of Both Worlds is not that simple, because once I've finished it, it goes into its place in my album, which is not one album with 89 layouts in a row. Make sense? Because of the way I keep my albums. So it's more that I have to go through all of my photo library and find each page and put them in the right order, and then make a little video that flips through them all, which I'm totally game for, as long as it doesn't fall flat on its face, Because sometimes you put a bunch of effort into a 30-second video and then no one sees it and you're like, oh, no. So as long as you're on board, you seem to be on board, so yay. And then a flip through video would be cool of the albums to see what my chronological albums look like. Corinne says yes to 2021 and 2022 she'd like to see. So 2022 needs a little bit of organizing before I can film it, but soon. Oh, Elaine says a page flip through. Yes, because Paige doesn't put her pages straight into albums. Yeah, she puts them first on the wall and then in a stack. But I'm not, if I start stacking, I never stop. And so, yeah, I can't, yeah, no. Mine have to go into books to save my brain and the pages. But it's okay. I'm totally up for it. Right. Did I have any other last pieces that I wanted to put on here? Did I get everything stuck on the page that I wanted to? Pretty much. I'm going to do one more set of hearts here. And a little bit of mist over this side. And then just journaling. I'm not sure about that. If that changes later, you'll know why. And I might put some something through there. Something. Just anything. Okay. There we are. Done. First page of the year is done, except for the journaling, which I'll do as soon as that's dry. Sophia, you're adorable. Shimelle doesn't have to finish a sentence. Do you want? Yes. Elaine says, if you have all the photos, you can do an animated flip. Yeah, so I'm not going to pull them all out of the albums because that would take days to pull them out and put them back through. I'm going to do it with all the photos that already exist, but it's just a case of then matching 89 different things because I didn't think to keep them in a folder as I went. So maybe I do that this year. Yeah. And this would be number 1 for 2023. Fabulous. Right. Speaking of which, if you want to say yes to all the things, there is a new class that will be up very soon, probably by the end of next week. So not this weekend, but if you wanted something to do next weekend, it's probably going to be there ready for you. And it's only $5 and you can get it on Shimelle.com right now. That's the bold pattern papers if you haven't signed up for that already. So that's super duper awesome and it's $5. So, well, I mean, it will be super duper awesome. But anyway, your support is super duper awesome. That's what I meant. Right. There's a sketch. There's a page. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this layout or you enjoyed the video and you want to give it a thumbs up, I'm super duper extra grateful for you. Thank you. And I will see you again Monday, 1:30 p.m. UK time. I think that's everything. Just a huge thank you. Have a wonderful new year. See you very soon. Bye-bye.